I'm sorry.
It's not a question, but I have a comment. Just for the record, the overview of the final rule from the Treasury Department is, and I read from this, a recipient may not use SLFRF, which is state and local fiscal recovery funds, to merely reimburse itself for premium pay or hazard pay already received by the worker. The premium pay may be awarded to eligible workers up to $13 an hour, and that was full and part-time employees. So just to understand, when I vote no against this, it will be because I'm reading from the overview of the final rule.
Any other questions?
Good question.
All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? One opposed. Ordinance number 2022-08 to clarify the council's pay for office expenses. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
I'm sorry.
Second.
I have a first and a second, okay. And Shannon?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, section 30.08, compensation and expenses in our city code, addresses compensation, expenses, and payments and optional benefits for the mayor and council members. Basically, 2018, the amounts in the ordinance were interpreted to mean net. And so what this ordinance does is it clarifies and supports an existing practice relative to expense of office for our elected officials. And it also makes clear this last provision is added, says the city pays federal insurance contributions in addition to federal state income taxes on expenses of office amounts for elected officials. Optional benefits offered to the elected officials by the city are at the expense of the elected official. It basically just clarifies what the city has been doing and practicing since 2018. I will tell you that it was questioned, and a complaint was filed with the South Carolina Ethics Commission. They gave us a call. They reviewed this thoroughly, and their findings were that this did not violate any of the rules of the South Carolina Ethics Commission. Glad to answer any questions.
Any other questions? Good.
Call for the question.
Call for the question on item E. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Item F, ordinance number 2022-09 to amend the fiscal year 21-22 easily operating budget to allow $200,000 to be used as a down payment for a fire truck that is on order at this time. I hear a motion.
Motion bring to the floor.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So basically what this is a budget amendment that allows us to use the funds that the city received. The city already voted on this item, and so we're using the $200,000 that has been received by the city as down payment towards a needed fire engine. The rest of that fire engine, the remaining balance, will be budgeted in fiscal year 23 budget.
Any questions?
I'd like to make a comment, this brief narrative that he just gives us, that this is not what makes us make our decision. This has been studied, it's been over and over and over, we went over, checked the legalities of it. It is not something we just voting on as a spare of a moment from what comments he just made. There's a lot of knowledge we gained with this.
Call for question.
Have a call for a question. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Item 10, new business. This is first readings. A is ordinance number 2022-10 to rezone 6.19 acres of real property located on the west side of Second Street. And this will be from industrial to GR2. And I will say, this is on South Second, right next to Getty's Middle School. Let me make sure that's in the record. You have a motion?
Motion, bring it to table.
Second.
Second. Mr. Holcomb, Shannon?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the first reading for the 6.19 acres to be rezoned from industrial to GR2. It goes back up to the mill there on South Fifth Street. It has approximately 120 some odd apartments. Planning Commission approved on February 21st. Comes to you tonight for the first reading. As you can see, it's the corner lot there. There where we did all the work for the little bridge there behind the junior high school. They're asking for a down zone from industrial to GR2.
Any questions about this one?
Call for question?
Excuse me, Mayor,
I'm sorry.
Does that, does the ordinance need to be on the west side of Second Street?
Yes, sir, that's the way it is on the deed.
Okay,
Yeah, but I just want to explain that so you sort of know where it's
right,
at.
just make sure.
Yeah, that's how it's located. And we looked earlier today, so. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, we have a call for the question. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Item B, ordinance number 2022-11 to annex approximately 6.715 acres of real property located at 210 Fern Street. And this will be designated as general commercial. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to bring to the floor.
Motion second.
Mr. Mayor, the Planning Commission heard it on 3/7, approved 4-0, comes to council tonight. If approved, there is a request for a special call meeting on March 22nd, 8 a.m. at City Hall for the second reading. We've been trying for a year or so to work with Mr. Wilson and his group to get this into the city. So after some talking back and forth with him, he's ready to move forward. And so he'll bring that to you tonight for an annexation and a zoning of general commercial.
All right. Thank you. We have any questions?
Call for question? Nancy?
Okay, call for question. All in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Thank you. And we will be having a special meeting on this one, correct? Shannon?
Yes, if it pleases council, so that will be March 22nd at 8 a.m. And there's two items that we should dispense of at that time. One is bid approval for 102 Esther Drive, and then also this one. So this would be convenient to do both at the same time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have item 11, discussion and approval to add a city planner position. Can I turn this over to Shannon?
Sure.
Tom, I'm sorry, I need a motion first.
Motion, bring it to table.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So in front of you is the position description for a planner. It's a position that we've been needing to fill, and so we are in the process of conducting interviews. We actually made an offer Monday in writing to a candidate who was highly qualified, and they have decided not to take the position. So we will be back interviewing and deciding our next steps. But basically what we're asking the board to do is to recognize and approve this position, as we are certainly growing and annexing and zoning, rezoning properties. And this person will be of great value to us, not only as a planner, but also as a GIS technician. Being able to create maps in-house and turn those quickly will be very helpful to us as we do the things we need to do in the planning department. So we're asking for approval from city council relative to this position.
Okay. Any questions?
Call the question.
Okay, we have a call for the question. All in favor of this position added to the city inventory, please raise your right hand. Any opposed?